Hello YouTube and welcome to the final Avatar Conquest battle for today. This is the 36th battle. Today I'm fighting on the ever so seen Foothills map against Harry Yang 1989, and this battle was absolutely emphatic. Oh my god, this was like the craziest battle I've had in this game yet. My opponent was level 7 and I was level 5. So yet again, my matchmaking luck wasn't looking too good. You can see that my opponent has brought 2 matchlock samurai, 5 katana samurai to support them. There they are. Nice colors. There are none of them are veterans, which leads us to believe that his cavalry contingent is indeed very powerful. He's got a katana cavalry unit. I think he's got 2 of those. And then he's got 2 Yari Cav veterans, I think. Yep, indeed. And there's his general. And he definitely have a superiority on me. I have 1 Yari Cav, and I'm going to capture the sword dojo over there. My opponent makes no attempt at all at capturing the buildings in this map, and instead, what this is going to be and what you're going to see is some crazy harassment via his Cav. You can see that he's going to start out a charge with his Yari Cav towards my general. What I've got is walls of spears. Here on my Yari Samurai, he collides into my Yari Samurai units across like 3 units here, absorbed his charge, and you can see that he didn't take many casualties, but neither did I. So that charge was a fail on his part, and that, look, it almost like totally perplexed me, but I was not gonna have it. I was having a bad day, and I was trying hard. I had my super tri-pants on, and you can see here, he's kind of disrupted my forces. I've got 3 Yari Samurai, 2 of them are the regulars, and 1 of them is a veteran, and they've got 3 chevrons here, so this is a very experienced Yari Samurai unit. Behind them I've got 4 units of Kaji no Seikon Katana infantry, and these guys are also heavily upgraded. And finally my skirmishing contingent is that of 4 Boa Shigaru, and you can see here 1, 2, 3 Boa Shigaru, and where's the 4th one? Maybe I just brought 3. No, there it is. It's a 4th is a Bow Samurai. So 1 Bow Samurai, 3 Boa Shigaru, and then that's it. So you can see that there's my general, and now my thought process is I want to prevent him from taking any of these buildings here. My opponent isn't going to let me have any of the buildings on the map. He's not either going to attempt to take it, but he is also not going to let me take it. And knowing that I am severely outnumbered, I am going to get on my horses and get the hell out of there before he even gets close. Because from the micro that I saw here, him being able to charge 5 units of cavalry in and run them back out, I know he can surround me with those 5 units. And I need this Cav unit because they've got 3 experienced chevrons. He's taking shots into my guys. I'm going to run out of there as soon as I can, avoid a death trap pretty much. And you can see here that I am emphatically rearranging my army, and what you're about to see here is just crazy harassment. He's going to be sending his Cav in and out around, and I'm going to be running my units in close quarters, trying to protect my flanks. You can see that his Cav is already tired. So while it is good to be doing this kind of harassment, his units are getting tired a bunch because they are all classified as heavy cavalry. If you want to do a lot of harassment, it's good to bring light Cav, because that's what they're meant for, to strike in and then leave out quickly. But units like this, Katana Cavalry and Yari Cavalry, they're definitely not meant to be running around the map and harassing in the manner that my opponent is using them. These guys are more like a cutting edge, a force that is the hammer of an anvil, and they're pretty much just meant to deliver a striking blow, not be used in the step manner that you're seeing right now. You can see now that I've pretty much positioned my Yari Samurai in front of my bows, and you can see that I'm keeping my Katana Samurai, who are 3 veterans and 2 regulars, in a close, compact formation, so that if they do indeed get charged, I can run them out of there as soon as I can. You can see here that my opponent is swinging around. I'm bringing my Yari Samurai around. I'm also moving my Boa Shigaru. I'm making sure that if he even thinks about coming close to me, the first thing that he'll run into are these spears. So he's going to keep running around, and eventually, if you've guessed that I'm going to get tired of this and start taking the initiative, well, you guessed right. I'm going to get sick of all these movements. His cavalry are tired, so this is the time for me to strike. His cavalry are tired. They're not going to be as fast. They're running in a hilly map. I've got woods to cover. I've got enough spear units to fend them off, and I also have superior skirmishers, because he's only got 2 matchlock samurai, which really can't do anything because I have the range on them. And you can see that my opponent is totally not playing with his the rest of his army. He's just kept it there, and he is focusing on his cavalry contingent. Now I wanted to start to like do a charge against these guys over here, but running uphill against matchlock samurai with 5 katana samurai waiting at the top of the hill was something as daunting as 5 cavalry units who include katana cavalry and heavily upgraded Yari cav is definitely not a good idea. So while I was going to take the initiative, I was not going to throw my units away for nothing, pretty much, which is something a mistake that I do quite often. But you can see here that I pretty much formed a defensive barrier, and when you want to ward attacks off like this, having your Yari samurai in wider lines, in pretty much wider formations, makes you able to catch his cavalry units a little bit better, because once they turn, they pretty much cover more space. Of course, they are more vulnerable to the charge that way. They would take the charge better if they were in a compact formation, but when they're spread out, you can catch opponent's units. And you can see here that I'm going to pretty much start aligning my troops soon enough to form a charge on my opponent. So let's go ahead and fast forward, since not much really goes on here. You can see that I'm just moving my bows towards him, making sure again that my spears are always the thing that's between him and the rest of my main body. I don't want him to be attacking. You can see here that he moved his general and some cavalry to the left to take some shots at me. I'm not having that. I'm gonna run my guys into the cover of the woods, and bringing my bows here to scare his cavalry away. And you can see at this point that they are very tired. There you go. So they're both very tired, and this is the point for me to attack. And look at this. Here comes the attack. I'm charging my fresh Yari cavalry downhill, and I'm also pushing Yari samurai back, pushing my infantry force back, inviting him up this hill. And you can see here that I'm using this unit as bait, and I'm also going to be bringing my Yari samurai. Here they are, and I push him away, almost catch him. But I decide to kind of wait a little bit for him to get on this position. And you can see here that I'm pushing now on the other side with my Yari samurai and with my general and with a cav unit, and that's gonna scare him, leave these guys vulnerable. And here comes what you've been waiting for. I'm going to actually try to catch one of his units. You can see here that his attention is directed here, and any minute now I think a charge is going to be imminent, if I am not mistaken. Here it comes. You can see movement from my Yari cavalry, and any time now these Yari samurai are going to be rushing downhill, and there they go, starting rushing downhill. I'm also pushing from the top, so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. And there goes the Yari cav. These guys are turned around. I'm bringing my bows in the range so that when the fight rages on, I can use my bow advantage. And you can see here come the Yari samurai, and look at this, my opponent is actually going to charge into them. And here they come. I'm going to encircle this Yari cavalry unit. Excellent charge on those guys. They're going to try to run out of there. He's bringing the rest of his cavalry. More Yari samurai coming downhill. And then my bows are also in a great position now, and they're going to start taking shots into this little boggy mess of his cavalry. And I do manage to start wavering, and I'm going to rout his utmost Yari veteran unit, which is great. You can see here that I've also engaged his cavalry with my Yari samurai, so things are looking good. His units are tired, their morale is dropping, his general is in the mix, so things could be very decisive here. You can see I'm bringing my general close for moral support, and there goes the fire arrows to just knock out the morale of those troops. And you can see my opponent still not making any sort of attempt to move his forces. Oh, there they go. They're going to start moving up because he knows he's about to lose the fight here. And surprisingly, my Yari cav is still alive. I'm gonna just throw them away at this point. They did very good, and you can see pretty much the results of that. My Yari samurai only lost 7 men there. They lost about 25 men there, 35 men there. But look at my opponent's cavalry. His katana cavalry is pretty much intact. This unit, his other katana cavalry is down to 14. His 2 Yari cav units, well, look at them, 23 and 27. So that's more than half strength. And they're all tired, and that is going to pretty much render them useless. They're not going to be able to do any sort of successful charge. And you can see here that I am moving again my bow Ashigaru, trying to get shots off at these guys. And look at my opponent here. Let's see what he's going to do. Yes, he's going to run away. He's not going to let me have those shots, because more volleys into these guys is a destined doom for them. And it's funny to note that at the beginning of this battle, I was like GLHF, which is good luck, have fun, and my opponent didn't understand. And I was like, that means good luck, have fun. And he was like, yeah, same to you, thanks. And then he was like, yeah, I'm a total noob at this game, and I've lost quite a bunch. But to be honest, he does not seem like a noob to me. He's microing his units quite well. He did get caught by a trap, but you could have seen him trying to desperately get out of there. And you can see that my units are fresh, because I am having them run in short intervals and then resting. If you want to be able to catch cavalry, this is great. His units are tired. My bows have a bunch of ammo, and my spears are still strong. So at this point, his cavalry are not a threat anymore. And now, if I just were to assess the power of these armies, this army has a lot of morale capability. It can knock me out, but from the looks of things, my opponent is going to be the one who has to press an attack now, because look at this. He just got decimated in terms of cavalry, and I think he's going to start resting them. But I'm not gonna have that. I'm not gonna let him rest his troops. I'm going to press on with my bows, with the spears right there behind them for that extra support. And you can see here they're sneaking through, and there are my spears. They're just gonna be supporting my bows, and I'm going to be moving forward, forcing him to run, keeping those cavalry in motion, getting them to be more and more tired. To cause less and less damage with their charge, less and less speed. And you can see he's going to stop there, and I think I do manage to pull off one volley. No, I don't. And you can see here that my opponent is going to be moving towards that building. My Katana Samurai are sitting cozily in the woods. They're all still fresh. They haven't really fought. Anywhere except this unit. I think it got charged in the beginning of the round. They lost 9 men. Nothing really too drastic. And you can see here that I'm going to start moving my troops. I am keeping my Yari Samurai. I'm going to keep my Yari Samurai at my backlines, and you can see that I've got them spread out. I got one here, and another one here, because this way my opponent won't be able to pull off any charges. And you can see here that my Katana Samurai are going to take their position on the hill here. And I'm going to actually run down and make sure that I do have my hill advantage, because he does outnumber me in the infantry terms, and my advantage in veterans isn't really that fantastic, even though these two units are 3 chevron and 2 chevron, but I do have 2 regulars, and so I need to use my infantry very, very carefully here. And you can see here that I'm going to charge one of his units with 2 of mine, and I'm going to split a veteran and a non-veteran. You can see these shots taking down a lot of my units here, and my opponent's spreading his force out really nicely and taking all those shots. And you can see that my non-veteran unit is going to start routing. I'm going to bring my general here, wavering, sorry. I'm going to bring my general here for the much needed moral support, and I need to at least pull 1 charge off at least Matchlock Samurai. You can see that they've taken their shots. This is the time for me to attack if I want to attack. At the back here, you can see my opponent trying to run his cavalry, but they're just simply too slow. I activate rapid advance, and I'm going to charge head on into them with my Yari Samurai. And you can see that my Yari Samurai, with their rapid advance, are now actually a little bit faster than his cavalry, who are trying to get around, trying to hit my bows. But look what they got here. More Yari Samurai taking the charge. So his cavalry is pretty much out of the equation now. You can see that my main force on the left is doing okay. My main force here isn't doing too well due to the fact that his Matchlock Samurai are just wrecking my day. You can see that I pulled off a charge with my general, waited for his guys to shoot, took a charge, and then ran out of there and hit the remaining of his Katana Samurai, freed up my left there. And you can see that I'm taking shots with my bows into his Matchlock Samurai units. And his cavalry is pretty much decimated at this point. His general is all that remains, and you can see that I'm keeping my bows and my Yari Samurai close to my bows, because I don't want him to be running them away. And you can see here I'm trying to catch his general. And on the left, my forces did succeed. On the right, they crumbled. And you can see here that he's going to be trying to desperately to pull off another charge, but I'm going to keep catching him over and over again. And you can see here that he is just trying to get his general out of there. He's inspiring his troops, trying to get a good charge at me, but he's not going to be able to do that. You can see here I'm shooting into his troops, and here he's trying to get to his backlines to provide some support. but you can see that I'm taking shots into these katana samurai. They're not gonna hold, and now my units are also starting to get tired. You can see that my veterans, ironically, are still in the fight here, and one of my units actually gained a chevron, and I'm gonna inspire them so that they don't rout before making contact with the line. I still have 3 Yari samurai left and a bunch of bows, so things are looking good, but my units are starting to get winded themselves. You can see that these shots are just so powerfully deadly. These 2 matchlock samurai, they cause so much morale shock, and I'm gonna here actually going to run right into them, and you can see that I've still got the hill advantage on these matchlock samurai, and my Kaji no Seikon unit, they collided with them, but then they routed, and you can see here that he's pushing his advantage, trying to salvage what he can. I'm going to rush in with my Yari samurai, and you can see that he's inspired this matchlock samurai unit, and he's going to actually get into the fight himself, and he for a noob, spreading out this line perfectly and making sure that they get perfect angle, even though they're shooting uphill. I'm not sure you're such a noob, my friend. He's doing a really good job, and this battle, as you can see, is still raging on. I don't know how long it's been. You can see here that I'm sending some of my bow samurai, actually, and my bow ashigaru, to just bog these guys down, prevent them from shooting anymore, because I can't let them keep shooting at me like that, because they're devastating my morale. You can see over here that his general is still inspiring units, and his general must have a bunch of defensive upgrades and attack upgrades, because he's fighting quite well, and you can see that he has dismounted. And the reason he's dismounted was, well, if he was on a horse fighting Yari cavalry, he wouldn't be able to fight as well. So another move that a noob would probably not be familiar with. So that was the battle. As I said, crazy stuff, and even monkeys fall from trees, says a Japanese proverb. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Remember to comment, thumbs up, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.